of learning, so you get the education for all. Gyanwani, Gyanwani, education at your doorstep. Zonia Gyanwani.
Namaskar, my name is Shilpa Jadhav. I am teaching sociology in N.G. Acharya and D.K. Marathi College at Chembur. Friends, today we are going to see patenting of a traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge, variously referred to as a traditional knowledge, traditional ecological knowledge, local knowledge, folk knowledge, is a knowledge developed by local and indigenous communities over time in response to the needs of their specific local environment. The World Intellectual Property Organization, capital WIPO, defines traditional knowledge as indigenous culture and intellectual property. The World Intellectual Property Organization defines traditional knowledge as indigenous culture and intellectual property, indigenous heritage and customary heritage rights. Category of traditional knowledge include agricultural knowledge, scientific knowledge, technical knowledge, ecological knowledge, medicinal knowledge, and biodiversity related knowledge. A central problem that while knowledge created in laboratories is acknowledged as the property of the innovator, that created in fields and forests is not recognized as the property of its creator. The main arguments for granting protection of traditional knowledge include equity, consideration, conservation, conservation concern, the preservation of traditional practices and culture, the prevention of appropriation by authorized parties of components of traditional knowledge, and promotion of its use in development. The knowledge base of the community remains any legal protection, whereas the creators of a new knowledge based on it using science were afforded protection by the formal system. Now, patents and the traditional knowledge. In broad terms, patents can be defined as exclusive rights granted for an invention, either a product of or a process that offers a new technical solution to a specific problem. A patent implies the grant of a monopoly to an inventor who has used his knowledge and skill to produce a product or process which is new, involves an inventive step, and is capable of industrial application. The obligation to protect geographical indication can be used to protect traditional knowledge of associated with the indication used for production and sale of goods. It is made clear that a given quality, reputation or other characteristics of good essentially attributable to its geographical origin are to be considered in identifying the geographical indication for protection. Thus, it may be possible for protection through geographical indication the traditional knowledge associated with goods. Disclosing traditional knowledge which forms part of an invention and of the state of the art or prior art will promote the progress of science by creating an incentive for the maintenance of a traditional knowledge system. This will happen by traditional knowledge begins widely and universally accepted within Western or a modern innovation protection system and becoming a reference point within the regular generation of traditional patent system. In the recent year, there have been several cases of bioprivacy of traditional knowledge from India. First, it was the patent on wound healing properties of haldi, that is turmeric. Now patents have been obtained in other countries on hypoglycemic properties of Karela, that is bitter gourd, brinjal, etc. An important criticism in this context relates obtaining patents based on Indian biological materials without acknowledging the source of their knowledge or sharing benefits. There is also the view that The agreement is aiding the exploitation of biodiversity by privatizing biodiversity expressed in life, forms and knowledge. The first we are going to see neem, a tree legendary to India, has been used as a biopesticide in India for centuries. Ancient Indian Ayurvedic texts have described the neem tree and its medicinal healing properties as far back as 5000 BC. The European patent number 436-257, which had been granted to the United States of American and the multinational corporations W.R. Grace for fungicide derived from the seed of the neem tree. Despite neem's ancient tradition, over 12 US patents were recently taken out neem-based emulsion and solutions. Second, turmeric. In 1993, the USPTO granted the University of Mississippi Medical Center patents rights over healing a wound by administering turmeric to a patient affected with a wound. But again, turmeric has been used for centuries in India. Indians grow up with a constant awareness of a turmeric, the tuber, when dried, keeps practically forever. The patent was eventually cancelled in 1998 after re-examination proceedings, but revealed to Indian and to indigenous societies around the world again. How easy it was to falsely patent centuries old traditional knowledge. Third one, basmati rice. In 1997, the US Patent Office granted a patent in September 1997 to Rice Tech for a strain of basmati rice, an aromatic rice grown in India and Pakistan for centuries. This case has not yet been resolved, but the Indian government is actively pursuing the case, standing that it violates both TRIPS and CBD according to the South Asian Commission of Economic and Social Policy. Rice Tech patents also violated by the CBD is not recognize the sovereign rights of India and Pakistan over basmati rice. In basmati case demonstrates the problem as illustrated in the TRPS that patents are granted to biotechnological process. Thus, even though basmati rice has been in South Asia for centuries, Rice Tech just altered it slightly through the crossing with western strain of grain and successfully claimed it was its own. The third one, maca. In 2001, after the Vigora craze, 2 US companies patented extracts of the endium plant, that is maca, which has traditionally been used to enhance fertility and sexual function. The patents were granted on the basis of unlocking maca's chemical secrets through advanced process. It has become clear through the narrating these few cases that IP, intellectual property, law cannot or are not being effectively applied to prevent the biopiracy of a traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge is being treated as a free input into research and commercial product development. When patents are falsely granted, equitable benefit sharing is not taking place, either while indigenous people remain subject to bioprivacy and become more marginated in the process. Protection of traditional knowledge in India. In Indian Patent Act by one reference is given, Protection of Traditional Knowledge in Indian Patent Act by Dinesh Gujarat. Okay, next part we are going to see biodiversity, climate change. It is now widely recognized that climate change and biodiversity are interconnected. Biodiversity is affected by climate change with negative consequence for human well-being, but biodiversity through the ecosystem service it supports also makes an important contribution to both climate change mitigation and adaptation. Consequently, conserving and sustainably managing biodiversity is critical to addressing climate change. In the atmosphere, gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, ozone and methane act like the glass roof of a greenhouse by trapping heat and warming the planet. These gases are called greenhouse gases. The natural level of these gases are being supplemented by emission resulting from human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, farming activities and land use changes. As a result, the Earth's surface and lower atmosphere are warming, and this rise in a temperature is accompanied by many other changes. Rising level of greenhouse gases are already changing the climate. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that is IPCC working group, fourth assessment report from 1850 to 2005, the average global temperature increased by 0.76 Celsius and the global mean sea level rose by 12 to 22 centimeters during the last century. These changes are affecting the entire world from the low-lying iceland in the tropics to the karst polar regions. Climatic change predictions are not encouraging according to the IPCC. WGI fourth assessment report, a further increase in temperatures of 1.4 Celsius to 5.8 Celsius by 2100 is projected. Predicted impacts associated with such a temperature increase include a further rise in global mean sea level, changes in precipitation patterns, and more people at risk from dangers, that is vector-borne disease such as malaria. Now, vulnerability of biodiversity to the impacts of climate change. The present global biome has been affected by fluctuating Pleistocene last 1 million years, concentration of atmospheric carbon dioxide, temperature, precipitation, and has coped through evolutionary changes and the adoption of natural adaptive strategies. Such climate changes, however, occurred over an extended period of time in a landscape that was not fragmented as it today and with little or no additional pressure from human activities. Habitat fragmentation has confined many species to relatively small areas within their previous ranges, resulting in reduced genetic variability. Warming beyond the ceiling of temperatures reached during the Pleistocene will stress ecosystem and their biodiversity far beyond the levels imposed by the global climatic change that occurred in the recent evolutionary past. Current rates and magnitudes of species extinction for normal background rates, human activities have already resulted in the loss of biodiversity, and this may have affected goods and services crucial for human well-being. The rate and magnitude of climatic change included by increased greenhouse gases emission has and will continue to affect biodiversity either or in combination with the other drivers of change. Now we are going to see the link between biodiversity and the climatic change. There is ample evidence that climate change affects biodiversity. According to the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, climate change is likely to become one of the most significant drivers of biodiversity loss by the end of the century. Climate change is already forcing biodiversity to adapt either through shifting habitat, changing life cycle, or the development of new physical traits. Conserving natural, terrestrial, freshwater and marine ecosystem and restoring degraded ecosystem is essential for the overall goals of both the Convention on Biological Diversity and the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, because ecosystems play a key role in the global carbon cycle and in adapting to climate change. While also providing a wide range of ecosystem services, they are essential for human well-being and the achievement of Millennium Development Goals. Biodiversity can support to reduce the negative effect of climate change. Conserved or restored habitats can remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, thus helping to address climate change by restoring carbon. For example, reducing emission from deforestation and forest degradation. Moreover, conserving intact ecosystem such as mangroves, for example, can help to reduce the disastrous impact of climate change such as flooding and storm surges. Questions for you, student. Check your progress. The first question, what are the intellectual property? The second question, discuss the patenting of traditional knowledge. And the third question, how biodiversity influence to climate change, explain.